So it's they call this Darlington Day. You see that? You see it over there? Wait a minute. You see that emergency vehicle that's over there? Here in there's a. I have no idea what's going on here, but you never know. What the hell is going on, right? In this small town of Darlington, Pennsylvania. What's called Darlington Days. You know, look, you never know it. I'm so out of it right now. There's something going on here, man. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. You see that pool right there? See, I got that container there. That was like to keep the cats from climbing and eating the baby birds and that fucking, you know, I think that the fucking feral cats must have gotten them. They were bluebirds. I hate these cats in this town. Fucking feral cats. Yeah, I haven't seen the bluebirds for a few days. So there's been a cat that managed to fucking navigate, you know, that container I have on there, because I thought that would keep them from being able to climb, you know, their claws. I hate this town. I fucking hate it. I mean, I really do. I just hate this fucking town. It's like, you know, damn, if there's anybody wants to fucking live here in Darlington, if you want to live here, man, I get, this is a duplex. You know, you might fucking love it here. You know, being married to a African American, you know, a woman that makes a couple here in town. This is a mean Mayberry. Oh, look, a bluebird. Look, they must know the fucking cats didn't get them, guys. Look, oh man, did you see that? I saw the bluebird come in, man. Oh man, that means maybe. Oh man, I saw it. Did you see that bird come in? So maybe the cats didn't fucking get them. I hope not. Probably to just about everyone watching this video, they'd think, oh, this is so beautiful, you know, Darlington, Pennsylvania. Man, I'll tell you what, give me an offer on this house. Come and get it. Come and get it, man. Come and get it. And then you can be here for Darlington Day next year. I want to move from here so bad. Come in, man. Make me a fucking offer. Make me a good enough of an offer, though, that I can move from here. You know, make it happen. This place here, you know, where I live, you'd probably like it. If you like the small town, this is it for you right here. Come on. Darlington. Come and get it. I don't know what that says. Yeah. Come and make me an offer, man. If you're interested in living in Darlington, Pennsylvania, in this small town, I think there's like 400 people, maybe 400 to 600 people in this little town of Darlington. Come on, make me an offer, man. I want to move right now. You know, upstairs, you know, it's set up so you could rent, you know, the upstairs if you wanted. You could rent it, and that would pay for everything for you to live here. You could live here rent free. I'm not rent free. What am I saying? Rent free. You could live here free, just free, man. Here in Darlington. What do you say? Are you interested? But this happens every year. It's called Darlington Days, and this is their idea of a parade here in Darlington, Pennsylvania. And you know, I was raised, you know, with these folks, people, you know, like this. My dad, you know, because of the 1980s, you know, his farm failed because, you know, farms became you know, like industry. They forced out the small farmer. But it's kind of cool, you know. Look, I kid you not. I love this kind of shit, but I want to move from here so bad. This house that I live in here, my house, my wife and I live in. You know, you could go ahead and rent the upstairs out. It's got everything up there. You know, a dining room, a living room, what is that back room? A storage, of course, a bathroom, a kitchen. I mean, it's like a nice little, what I guess you could say it's a one bedroom, you know, kind of like apartment. You could rent that out, man, and live here for free. So, you know, it would pay for your mortgage, man. If you could fucking have this house, buy this house, and it'll pay for your fucking mortgage payment. Come on, man. Do me a favor and buy my house. Buy this house for me. It's really nice where it is. You'd love it. I'm at 120 First Street, Darlington, Pennsylvania. Do me a favor, man. Spread this. You know, if you know of anyone that wants to live in a small town, this is it, man. You're looking at it. There's a polo field that is, no kidding, when I say 200 yards from where I live. You can watch the polo games every Friday night in the summer. They got polo. There's a trout stream. You know, if you have a really good arm, you could hit the trout stream from here. You know, and they stock it good. You know, every year people, you know, take advantage of it. It's a little beaver. It's called the trout stream. What else? It's just it's seated in a pretty nice area. There's state game lands that aren't far at all from here either. That you could take advantage of if you want to. You know, I'm saying public lands to hunt. It's got a lot going for it, man. I just don't like it here. Personally, for me, it's because I'm married to a black woman, and this town, you know, is not like in your face. Like, would you hear somebody like nigger, nigger, nigger? You know, but you get them pissed off, you'll hear them. Somebody bought a fishing pole. You see, there's you walk around now, Darlington Days, and people have out a bunch of stuff that they're selling. You know, selling. I mean, you'd have to. Like, you can't see even across the street there. My neighbor's probably got a table set up with stuff over there. But you walk through the town, and that's what it is. It's like a big old flea market kind of like thing, but we're talking about people putting stuff out, you know, for sale. My neighbor lives in that house, that brick home across there. He's a musician, a guitarist, That's a nice house, huh? You know, the bricks from that, as all of the brick buildings and homes. See that brick? That's brick over there by the stop sign. Is brick, but the brick homes they're made from the bricks that were made here in Darlington. That's what Darlington is. You know, is it's heritage. Excuse me, it's heritage. Look, speaking of heritage, the Underground Railroad was. This is part of the Underground Railroad too. It's a historical significance. You know, what's the exact scoop on that? I don't know, but we do have a friend, Sue. She doesn't live too far from here, and her house, you know, was actually used as a place that runaway slaves would find sanctuary. But you know, on the one hand, I tell you in truth that the Ku Klux Klan, you know, was heavy in this area at one time. You know, and then I tell you that it has, you know, there's a history here with helping slaves, you know, that escaped, you know, from bondage, and as they, you know, this is part of the Underground Railroad. I know, I'm telling you. Anyway, Darlington. No, that there is something my aunt. Wow. My wife bricked that in. You see that right there? What do they call that? I think it's like called a pizza oven or something. I don't know. My aunt, she made that. It needs to be re-mortared or whatever they call it when you have to re-cement. But it's all intact. There are 2 wells on this property. We had to have one. See right there, that one we had to have. That's a new well right there. See where I hit my truck? See that part on my truck back from the wheel well. I accidentally hit that damn thing. But that's the new well. We're still paying on it. Cost us like I think it was $9,000 and change. They wouldn't Dillon well drilling. They wouldn't do, you know, clean our well. There's a way that you can. Yeah, they could have done that for us, but they didn't, you know. But that's what we have here is well water. I'm not crazy about the water, but you know, we have a water conditioner that at least makes it tolerable. That's the Darlington Fire Department. There you go. And they're not far from here. Like their response time, if you'd have an emergency, they could be here in minutes, man. Quick. They're not far at all. Right here. So there's a lot of good things about this town. You know, I really just want to move from here so bad. If you know of somebody that is interested in living in a small town like this, you know, please help me sell this place. So like I said, you know, the upstairs, you're gonna have to, the bathtub is gonna have to be fixed inside with some, you know, you're gonna have to do a little bit of work, but it's not crazy work, you know. You can move right in, you know, but the upstairs, the only thing you'd have to hook back up is the bathtub, you know. But for whatever reason, when I got in here back in 2017, I filled it up, and when I got in it, you know, the pipe, it moved, you know what I mean, and whatever it was, you know, it needs some. It's going to need some work right there. That's about the only thing that you would have to be concerned with upstairs. You know, everything else is good. You know, you got a nice gas, you know, furnace up there, and yeah, it's nice. It's got a nice kitchen, and I like the upstairs. What I use it for right now is just storage. I mean, you know, I haven't, because I'm all crippled up, I can't really be going up and down the steps. You know, but I had thought that I would be able to use it as a work area, like at least I have a penchant for music. I thought I'd be able to set up a little studio and, you know, at least do something, you know what I mean? Something I enjoy. But it's still really unpacked. I wasn't even able to get anything done from that. I'm challenged with my physical disabilities, but the attention deficit disorder, man, unless you are challenged with that, you wouldn't know how hard it is to organize, to get a work area organized, what have you. So this is Darlington, folks. That's my neighbor there, the woman in the back. Her name's Connie. She's a decent lady. You get along with everybody here. It's to the back of me. There's a disabled veteran. His name's Pat. Pat's a nice guy. I like Pat. He's prejudiced, as far as I think he's got some prejudice, but we get along okay. Look, the only friend I have in this town is the neighbor's dog. And the neighbor's dog has a brother that, he likes me too. Diesel, and Buster is my friend here. He's got a tumor like the size of a big grapefruit that hangs from his neck. If I had money, I would have gotten him surgery. Yeah, these folks are just here because this is Darlington Days. You saw that little parade that came through. And when that car moves, I think that car right there, you'll see my neighbors have got a setup over there where some tables, they're selling a few things. But my wife was going to try to sell some things this year, and for whatever reason, she changed her mind. It's all good. I don't have a shirt on, or I would step out here and let you hear the atmosphere instead of my air conditioner in the back here. But so the backyard here, there's it's a little backyard, but we have a little woodshed, and there's another area there where you can put another shed in. There's just like here, there's steps. Can't see them from where I am here. Right behind that lattice there there steps going upstairs, but in the back there's steps as well. Yeah, everything's fine with the roof, and the electric here, the wiring, I would say, look, I would take it on as a project and redo everything, and the plumbing. Just that's what I would do if I were healthy. That's what I would do. But everything works, But that's just what I do. We have dehumidifiers in the basement, or it does get really damp, and that guy right there, his name is Ron. He's a Navy veteran. That's Ron. I think that's Ron. Is it? No, that's not Ron. Sorry. I don't know who that is. That's somebody just visiting Darlington Days. So this is it, man. If you're interested in this kind of vibe, or somebody that's interested in this small town kind of like vibe, I want to sell this place like ASAP, like tomorrow. Let's make it happen, because I really could use the money to move. I want to get out of here. It's and they'll love you. And nobody wants anything to do with me because I have a black wife, right? But nobody harasses me. It isn't like I have that problem. Like, they don't go out of their way to try to hurt me. The only crime we've had here since 2017 when I moved here is I just noticed I had a junk bike that was out here sitting right back from where that blue container is, and somebody stole it. First time that we have had anything taken. And I don't, you got all these people coming into town from Darlington Days. Somebody must have seen it ahead of time and they wanted it. They were driving through and they got it. It was a junk piece of shit. There were two of them, two bicycles, both, like his and hers kind of thing, 3 speeds. I just got them. I picked them up. Somebody had put them out along the road, and I picked them up, brought them home, and I don't know what I would have done with them. But besides that, there's only been one other time that's been any crime here, and that was the neighbor behind us. Like I said, there was a veteran there, Vietnam veteran Pat, and behind them there was a family. Part of the family still lives there. They're decent people, but they had a motorcycle that someone in town, would you believe, stole from them. And you see this little driveway here? This is owned by the township. It's an access, kind of like driveway. That's all it is. It just goes back, I think like 50 feet behind what you see, and then it ends. But the morning that motorcycle was stolen from a neighbor, you see like straight ahead where that right there, that that little grass, whatever that is, right in front of there was a guy. One morning I stepped out to look out the door here, and there was a guy trying to get this motorcycle started out there, and I didn't know anything, what the hell was going on. I walked out and I didn't really look at the guy too close. I felt like something was funny about it. It was weird and whatever, but I did offer him, I told him, I said, you can leave the bike here and then come back and get it later if you want. But here he had just stolen the bike from my neighbor in the back. And I tell you in truth, I didn't look at the guy. Like I knew not to look at him. And then when they were questioning, because the guy left the bike out there, and when the police questioned me and then the neighbor who had the bike stolen, everyone, the neighbor was, especially the neighbor, he was like, why can't you describe who it is? And he was even wanting me to accompany him and drive around town looking at, to see me to identify somebody. And I said, I didn't look at the guy, like in his face. I didn't want to look at him. I knew something was up with it. And by God's grace, the guy that stole the motorcycle, he got off from it, but he really pissed off my neighbor that I wouldn't, he thought I was bullshitting him, that I knew that I knew more than what I was telling or whatever. But this is low crime. The biggest crime committed here was by Norfolk Southern, illegally burning off, at least 34 containers of hazardous materials, carcinogens there, on the Pennsylvania border, back in 2023. And it contaminated this area really bad. But that was in 2023. We don't drink the water here. We buy bottled water. We use the water here, though, to wash with and what have you. Since this area, it was like they had the brickyard here making bricks, what have you. It's got a lot of iron. Some people don't mind that. I don't like my water to be all irony or the irony. I don't like all the iron in my water. I would step out there and walk around the house, give you a look-see, but it's a nice little house here. Got a garage on the side over here, So it's got a garage, and it's a 2-story. Like I said, you could go ahead and rent that upstairs out, and you could live here free. That's no shit. You could do that. That would be kind of neat. That's the kind of situation I would have loved to have gotten into at one time. I really am not too crazy about somebody stomping around upstairs. And look, if you can have the patience for it, yeah. it would be all right. You might find somebody that would, wouldn't, that would be good. I'm saying, it would, just your. Sorry, I'm really tired. I'm sleep deprived. I haven't slept for a while, and I'm out of it.